Thank you guys for tuning in to Man Cave TV, and today I'm going to be discussing the Battlefront Beta and my thoughts about it. Overall, I think the beta was very good, and I was very excited to play it and get a chance to have like an inside scoop of what the game is going to look like. Now, they only gave us really 3 modes to play with, so after a while, I kind of got bored of those 3 modes because that was really all that they gave us, which when in a beta, of course, they're not going to give you everything. I didn't expect that, but you know, those 3 modes, they get kind of boring after a while, and that was probably one of the downsides for me. But overall, the gameplay was very cool, the graphics are incredible, and the experience is so much fun. Those certain grenades that you're hearing in the background, they just were incredible. How much that noise was, and especially I play with a headset on, and it really gets you into the game when you have headsets. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, of just the sounds around you and the graphics. It really puts you in the scene for this the certain episode that had this for Walker Assault. It put me in that scene, and it was very well done by DICE. I believe DICE went to this actual spot where they shot the scene. They took pictures. I think they also did like a 3D scan or something like that to make it as realistic as possible, and thumbs up to them. They did a great job at that. It really is an incredible game in that sense. Now there are some negatives about this game, but nothing really substantial that is a deal breaker for me. Probably the only, well, not the only, there's a few. I'll just kind of explain them as I go, in the sense that some of the bugs that I found were mainly the bullet spread. There is no recoil like all the other games, like say Battlefield. There's really no other, there's no recoil, which is very good and makes it easier, but there is something that I consider bullet spread. Now, the bullets, I feel, don't always, or the lasers, whatever you guys want to call them, I felt like it didn't exactly hit my target as often as I thought it should, because when I'm aiming, I thought, wow, I should have had him when I didn't. Now, I think it's because of that bullet spread. Now, I don't know if that's actually built into the game because they're lasers and they're not accurate in their minds. That's what they're thinking. Or if it's a bug in the game. So I'm not necessarily blaming them for it. I'm just a little curious on what exactly is causing maybe the bullet spread. Because a lot of times I felt that I'm aiming at my target and I'm not hitting the target, which really was frustrating for me. But also, it took me a little while to get used to the different how to look down scope. It is different than Battlefield in that sense, so it took me a little while to adjust. But what's really cool about this game is there's not a big learning curve like Battlefield. It was very easy to pick up and play, and yes, it took me a little while to understand maybe the game modes and stuff like that. But the one, I think it was called Drop Zone, it's a lot like Hardpoint from Call of Duty. And the Walker Assault one is a lot like Rush, I think it was like Rush in my opinion, from Battlefield. So if you played either of those games, you will probably have a somewhat idea of how these 2 game modes went, or how they moved. And they were not very hard to play. The game itself is not hard to play at all. It's kind of casual, and I know some people are kind of bashing that in the sense of, oh, it's not going to be a good game for MLG or esports. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just a game that you can just pick up, very easy to play, very easy to have fun, and that's what this game is. This game is very easy just to pick up and have fun. So I have no complaints. I'm not complaining about anything in that sense, because it just was very fun to pick up and play, and I enjoyed it very much. And I hope you guys had the access to the beta as well. And if you didn't, there is a lot of videos up on YouTube for you guys to fill that Star Wars niche that you guys want before the movie comes out or before the game comes out. So another thing that I have been having on my mind, and I mentioned it in another video, is the fact that who exactly is this game for? Is it for Battlefront fans? Is it for Battlefield fans? Or is it for Star Wars fans? And honestly, I said it in my last video, and I'm just going to say it again. I feel that this game is for neither. It's for everyone. Everyone can play this game. It doesn't matter if you're a Call of Duty fan and don't like Battlefield, or vice versa. You can play this game and you can have fun because it puts you in the Star Wars theme and the Star Wars mood, and anyone can enjoy it. But I still am a little curious though, like, who would like this game the most? Would it be the hardcore, or I don't know if it's really hardcore, but the people that love Battlefront back in the day? Or is it the people that love Battlefield? Or the people that just love the Star Wars movies? I wonder what fan base of those three would love this game the most, would buy this game the most. So that's just a little bit of me scratching my head, and a lot of times when I think, it's just random thoughts going through my head, but I kind of was curious about that. And also, another thing that I was wondering is the longevity of the game. Is this a game that is going to last for years like Battlefield? Battlefield did not have a very good campaign, but it had, and it still does, it has an incredible multiplayer. So the multiplayer is carrying Battlefield for as long as it is, and also they're adding DLCs, new weapons, new maps, all that good stuff. So Battlefield is very long, has a very long longevity in the sense that people are still playing that game. Hardline was kind of a flop. A few months went by and then people stopped playing it. So I'm wondering if Battlefront is going to be that way as well. A few months go by and they're not going to play it that much because they get bored of it, because it is a casual game. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing to be a casual game, as I said earlier, but it may not last as long in the sense that it's a casual game and it's not a game that you really get better at, I guess you could say. Like Call of Duty and Battlefield, they have kind of learning curves, and you can see your development, you can see when you get better. So that's what I'm wondering, if it's something that's just casual and you don't really have the chance to get better at the game. I'm wondering how long it's really going to last. 2 months, maybe 6 months. Now, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I do feel that the longevity game is not going to be very long, and that's maybe not a bad thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but for all the time and effort that DICE put in it, that, in my opinion, that kind of is a bad thing. But we'll see. We'll see how long this game lasts. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope it lasts just as long as Battlefield, and honestly, I hope it lasts a lot longer than some of the Call of Duty games, because Call of Duty, literally, I think it lasts like 6 months to a year, because that's normally the competitive span of those games, and then a new one comes out and then they have to relearn a new game. So I'm hoping that Battlefront lasts as long as Battlefield. So that was another question of mine, and something that I would say about this game that I think is very disappointing, and I know that they've substituted something else in, and I think they think in what's the term, in the spot instead of. Now, the thing is there's really no campaign or story mode. They have something called missions, which was one of the ones you could try on here, called survival mode. Now, they have some missions instead of a campaign or a story mode, and they put all their time into a multiplayer. Now, I understand that, because look at Battlefield. Battlefield's campaign was mediocre, and their multiplayer is incredible, and they put a lot of time into their multiplayer. So I understand that, and I think I agree with that in that sense. But I was really disappointed in the fact that there is no story mode no campaign, because I really wanted to live out some of the stuff that has gone through the Star Wars movies. Like, I wanted to be Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader, or maybe your own person going through the missions, the story of the movies. And that I really was looking forward to that, because I know I don't know if it was maybe the old Battlefronts, but some of the older Star Wars games, like I remember seeing on 360, they did stuff like that. So that's a disappointment for me, because I was really looking forward to that. I really wanted to do something like that, but I do understand why they're putting all their time and effort into the multiplayer, because that's where Battlefield shined. Now, I'm wondering also, in the near future, after the game comes out, are they going to be releasing like DLCs, more maps, maybe new weapons and stuff like that? I don't know if there's really much they can do in the sense of Battlefront or Star Wars theme wise, so I'm not really sure like on how many more weapons they can add, because it was really basic. I think there's only 3 or 4 weapons, but I mean, they might be adding more maps. I think there is probably so many more maps that they could add, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. I know the game isn't out yet, but I think that there are so many more maps that they can add and make the game even more fun. And there again, the longevity might last a little bit longer then. So, these are just some of my thoughts on the game. I don't think the game was really bad. I really enjoyed it, like I said earlier. But a few questions of longevity. Who is this fan base exactly for? And I know that these are all minor details in the whole scheme of things, but it's just some ideas that ran through my mind and got me thinking. And I thought I'd put a review of what I thought the game was like up for you guys. So if you didn't have the access to the beta or a chance to play the beta, you kind of have an idea of what the game is going to be like. It's awesome. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's just a casual game to pick up and play with friends, and that's really cool. Nothing wrong with that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or any thoughts about the game yourself, like if you did have access to the beta, please let me know down in the comments below of what you thought of the game, and if there were some bugs that you guys experienced and I didn't, I would love to hear that as well, because I know a beta is a work in progress, so that there are going to be problems. So guys, don't get nervous in the fact that there are problems. If you experienced any, don't worry about it, because that's the whole point of a beta, is they get the game out so people can experience it and see how smoothly it goes. So this is just my thoughts on the game, and I'd love to hear from you guys on anything that you guys saw that you liked or disliked, or how pumped you guys are about this new game coming out. I think in November 17th, I think is the date. So about a month, maybe, give or take. So, I'd love to hear from you guys what you guys have to say. And also, if you guys are just excited about the new movie coming out as well, which I'm a little disappointed there aren't many previews on that movie, and they might be on the hush hush for a reason, because they want to build the suspense for the movie as well. But I don't really like that. I want to see the previews. I want to see what the movie's going to be like. I didn't read the book, and they always say the book is better, so maybe I should read the book. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and any of your thoughts you guys have on this video or this game, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.